at it, one of the first devices we have is something called the Tiger Track. So that's really the device. That's what it looks like, and that is the physical device. So as you can see, it's like a pendant where you can insert a SIM card out here. It has got uh, mic and a speaker built in. It has got an SOS button here, and the function of this device, really the primary four functions. One is it can track your location accurately wherever you are in the world, and it will transmit that location to the cloud so that you can be tracked remotely by your friends and family. The second thing it does is it also allows you to do something called geofencing, which is like a anti-wander sensor. So if you look at some of the conditions that elder people face, where they leave the house without telling anybody, tend to get lost, and then that becomes a huge issue for the family. So with this device, now you can actually draw a virtual circle around your house, and the minute the person leaves the house or leaves that safe zone, immediately the family will start getting alerts to say that this person has left, and immediately they can look on their app and see exactly where the person is and go and fetch them. The third thing this has is, like I said, an SOS button. So all you really need to do is, if you have any kind of emergency, you simply just press this button. Your entire family will start getting an alert to say emergency has been detected. This is the location of the person. And this device will also dial an emergency number of the friend or family who is their caretaker, for example. And you can have a two-way conversation on this device because it also has a cell phone built in. Right. So from an emergency perspective, now you can basically track the person. You can make sure that the person doesn't leave the house. If they have an emergency, they can immediately give you a call. And if you, let us say, if you have an elderly person at home being looked after by a nurse that you have hired, and you are in the office, and you are not really sure whether that nurse is treating your grandfather or your parent properly, whether there's any abuse or not. So what you can do is that you can actually call into this device using a one-way call technology, which means that only the mic of the device will come on, not the speaker. So you will be now remotely able to hear everything that is happening around the tracker and make sure that your parent or your loved one is being treated properly. So all these features are now possible by simply having a device like this. And all you really need to do is insert a SIM card and start using it. There is no recurring charge or subscription fee or anything like that. We do understand that a lot of our senior population, they have financial constraints, and they're not in a position to keep spending money month after month after month. So as a result, we have this device, which is like a one-time purchase device, and everything after that is really free for life. That's the way we operate. In addition to that, you also have additional features, let's say, in another device, which is called the Tiger Fit Pro, and that is in the form of a smartwatch. So that's what it really looks like. It has got all the features that I've mentioned in the Tiger Track, which is it's got tracking, it has got an emergency button, all of those things. But in addition to that, we have also built in a fall detection system here. So if the person who's wearing this device has a fall, the device will immediately detect that fall and will automatically send an alert to whoever has been programmed in the device to say that, okay, send alerts to A, B, C, whatever. All of them will get alerts, and it will also automatically dial out a phone number that has been pre-programmed. So you can actually have a two-way conversation on this device as well. The other additional feature that we have built into the device is a blood pressure and heart rate monitoring capability, which means that the device can be programmed to monitor your blood pressure and heart rate, let's say every 2 hours, every 4 hours. It will automatically measure it. You will not even realize when it is doing it. And it will measure it and transmit it again to the cloud, so that your child, your children, your grandchildren, or your doctor can remotely now on the app see what your blood pressure looks like on a daily basis. Twice a day, thrice a day, 4 times a day. It will automatically show you the trend also. So if suddenly they find that your blood pressure is dipping, or if it is suddenly spiking, they know exactly that they can, immediately give you a call and say, are you okay? What is happening? Your BP doesn't seem to be okay, kind of situation. So all this is now done remotely, and all the user really needs to do is simply wear the device on their body. They do not have to do anything other than that. So that is the beauty in terms of technology, is that we made it extremely easy to use, easy to operate, and also easy to, should I say, maintain, on a daily basis because of the costs involved. So that's, some of the things that we have as far as the wearable devices are concerned. But in addition to that, a lot of our seniors also have chronic care issues, chronic diseases. They suffer from conditions like diabetes, hypertension, CVD, cardiovascular issues, etc. Typically, 70% of our seniors face one of these three conditions, if not more. And the amount of care they require obviously is far more frequent than when they were much younger. And it becomes difficult for them to keep going to the doctor all the time because it is not easy to commute. They may or may not have a car or a bike or whatever. They may not have help to take them to the doctor. So in such cases, what happens is that these chronic conditions, because they are not treated or they're not monitored, they tend to fester, they tend to become worse over time. And then all of a sudden you are in hospital and you have this huge bill that you are supposed to now pay because you are not been able to take care of yourself. So what we are looking at is, if people with such conditions are unable to, let's say, visit a hospital every now and then, would it be possible for the hospital to visit them instead? Wouldn't it be easier for the hospital to visit them instead? And that's the reason why we kind of came up with what we call the RHEMOS set of devices, which basically, this is what it looks like. So this is the health monitor. That's what we call it. It is a simple device that, as you can see, it's small. It kind of fits into your pocket. And it has got multiple sensors all over the body. Each sensor measures a critical vital. Let's say, for example, if I put my finger on this sensor here, it will now measure my heart rate and it will measure my blood oxygen level, my SpO2 level. There's a sensor here. If I put this on my forehead, it will automatically measure my temperature, right? I have three sensors, which is 1, 2, and 3. So if I hold the device with my three fingers on these three sensors, it will automatically take my electrocardiogram. It will actually measure my ECG by just holding the device like this for 40 seconds. So I hold the device, it will actually generate a trace, which is my ECG report. Along with that, it will also generate my respiratory rate, the number of breaths per minute that I'm taking, and it will generate my HRV, which is my heart rate variability, right? So these 5 vitals are now generated literally in seconds by simply touching various sensors on this device. This data is now captured by my phone and the phone transmits it to cloud instantly. So if there is a doctor that I am, tied to, the doctor can now immediately get to see my entire reports in seconds, regardless of where I am and regardless of where the doctor is. Everything is online. So this also generates my blood pressure. So I have a regular BP cuff that I use. The only thing is that now I can actually attach this device to the cuff and I wear it, like a regular BP cuff, and it will check my systolic and diastolic blood pressure and my pulse rate. And last but not least, the device also has a slot on the side right here. And this is a sugar strip that comes with it. So all I really need to do is plug it into the device and I touch it with a drop of blood and it will now tell me my blood glucose as well, right? So a single device now can generate 8 critical vitals in about 2.5 minutes with hospital grade accuracy from any location and transmit that information to the cloud so that it is instantly available, for remote access, either by your friends and family or by your physicians. And then based on that data, they can do a far better diagnosis of what is going on with you. Right? So these are some of the ways that we have used technology to try and better the lives of our senior citizens in India.